You want to know what's wild? Is it took me 39 years to ever hear the term limiting belief. Never heard of it. Didn't even occur to me that beliefs could be limiting. I was so wrapped up in my own beliefs and how I thought about myself that it didn't even occur to me that they could be wrong, that they could be limiting me, that they could be keeping me in a prison in my mind. So I just lived my whole life thinking I was less than, thinking I wasn't worthy, thinking I wasn't meant for big things, thinking I was, just all of these negative, limiting beliefs. I had gone as far as I could go. I'm lucky that I got this far. And then a little under a year ago, I heard the term limiting beliefs. And it was almost like I was given permission and understanding that just because I thought a certain way didn't mean I had to believe it. I was given permission to look outside of the box. And when I heard the term, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. Now, things had led up to it over, about a week or two prior to me hearing it. So it was almost like this culmination of events that just all of a sudden, and for me personally, when I heard the term limiting belief and I realized that I had so many of the things about me that were holding me back were myself, that I literally had my spiritual awakening after realizing that. It's like my whole world expanded. Now, if you don't know what a limiting belief is, I think it's pretty clear just from the actual phrase, but it's basically a set of beliefs about yourself that just don't allow you to grow and expand. They're beliefs you have about yourself that keep you small, that prevent you from thinking big, that prevent you from going after your dreams. And they can come from when you're younger. Maybe you're born with some of your limiting beliefs, or just an idea or a mindset that you have that you just don't feel worthy. But it also can come from childhood. It could come from, a caretaker, a parent. There's so many different things that can come into your conditioning when you're growing up, even when you're getting older. And they basically shape your whole life and they keep you small. It's this mental prison that you're inside of. And once I realized that I was in that prison and that maybe some of the things I thought about myself weren't true. Like maybe I am meant for big things, just like you. Maybe I can do hard things, just like you can. Maybe I am worthy. Maybe why the fuck not me? And when I had those moments, it was wild. It was crazy. It changed my life. I all of a sudden was able to start thinking outside the box. I all of a sudden was able to kind of think about the dreams that I have or that I had. And instead of tamping them down, I started to let them release. I started nurturing them. I started thinking maybe they are for me. I'm not going to waste any more time. It took 39 years for me to hear the phrase limiting beliefs, and maybe I'd heard it before. Maybe I just wasn't ready to receive it. I don't know, but I don't recall ever hearing it. One term I did hear about, that I heard a lot about, was something called the Peter Principle. The Peter Principle was something that helped me in my limiting beliefs. It's basically, in a nutshell, this principle that, once you get to a certain level, you shouldn't have gotten hired at that level because you've maxed out. Like you get promoted to a certain level and sometimes you get promoted too high. You've reached your Peter Principle. You've gone too high. You're not going to excel. If anything, you're going to fail at this job. You've gone too high. So you should know your limits. Or corporations or people should know their limits of their employees and not over promote them. Keep them at their level. Keep them where they should be. And I believed in that principle. I thought I was living proof of that principle. Every time I got up and I moved up in the ladder of any job I've had, whether it's, my most recent job of running the front office of a really amazing resort, one of the best, if not the best in the US. And I felt like I was faking it. I felt like I was a fraud the whole time. But once I heard the term limiting beliefs, I realized that all I was doing with the Peter Principle and all of these other things was limiting myself and not allowing myself to expand. So my question to you is, what are your limiting beliefs? What are the things about you that are not true? Things that you've taken on, things that you believe, but when you write them down and you think about them, and you analyze them, where did they come from? Why do you have a limiting belief around that? So much of it is based on just feeling small and being constricted and feeling in our comfort zone or worrying about what other people are going to think. Start thinking big about yourself. Realize that so many of the things holding you back. Now, trust me, there are things that hold people back regardless of the way they think. Systemic racism, inequality in our society. There's so many things. But at the same time, there are also things that you can do and look at that can improve the way you see yourself. Once you identify your limiting beliefs, once you look at them and really question where they came from, then you can really start to expand where your mind will go. You can really start expanding what you think you're capable of or what you know you're capable of. You'll really start expanding on your dreams. If you have questions about limiting beliefs, if you wonder what your limiting beliefs are, it's like I said, I challenge you to write down things about you that make you feel like you can't do it and figure out where they came from. Start following people, whether it's on social media or, reading books about people who started from the bottom. They didn't think they were worthy and they built themselves up. Start questioning whether or not these beliefs even serve you, if they're even for you, if they're preventing you, if they're making you feel stuck, if you're feeling like you're in a prison. Start questioning those. Don't live like that. My timing feels perfect. 39 years, I wouldn't change any of it. I almost felt like it was a perfect buildup and a crescendo and it happened and I don't regret the 39 years. But don't wait any longer if you don't have to. Figure it out. Believe in yourself. So many of the things implanted in your brain are false about yourself. Don't let it hold you back from becoming the person you're meant to be. Lift those dreams up. Lift up that shit that lights your soul on fire. Don't tamp it down. It's there for a reason. It's there for you to explore, to grow with, to nurture, and fucking expand. You are so much bigger than your limiting beliefs. Don't ever think otherwise. You can accomplish huge things. There is a purpose for you. Let that soul light up. I hope everyone has a great Sunday. I will see you next week. Catch you later.